Today we will learn something in depth about the Python. Okay, so we have already learned about uh, Yang data models, XML. Okay, so now we have started the Python programming. Okay, so in Python programming we have learned how to use the Python programming, how to use it for addition, multiplication, division, okay, or if you have to print any string, okay, how you have to use that thing, okay. Now we have seen the idle interpreter also, okay. Now we will move to the data types, then variables and conversions, okay. So what all are the data types that are there uh, in, you can say, data types. Now what is data types, what is exactly data type? So you can say in programming, data types are a classification which tells the interpreter how the programmer intends to use the data. In programming, data types are a classification which tells the interpreter, okay, how the programmer intends to use the data. If I give you an example, for example, you can say, uh, suppose if my programmer, if the interpreter needs to know whether the data of the programmer, the data that is entered by the programmer is a number or a string, okay. So he can come to know, okay. He can see that whether the interpreter can run a command to see whether the data type the programmer entered is either an integer or an string or float or boolean type, okay. So if I move to the types of integer, the first type is, the first type is integer. The types of data types, the first one is integer. What is integer? It is used to specify whole numbers, whole numbers, but not decimals, not decimals, okay. The numbers, it is used to specify the numbers, you can say, such as 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, etc., okay, etc. You can say if an integer is entered with decimal, if an integer is entered with decimal, okay, if an integer is entered with decimal, interpreter will, interpreter, you can say, ignores uh, the decimal. If I give you an example, if you enter a number, you can say 3.75, okay, then it will be interpreted as 3 only, okay. If you have given an integer if you are using a data type as integer, okay, and if you enter a decimal value 3.75, it is interpreted as 3 only, It is interpreted as 3 only. Okay. The next data type is float. What is float? Used to specify uh, numbers that needs a decimal value. A decimal value such as 3.75. Okay. It is used to specify numbers that needs a decimal value such as 3.75. Okay. String. What is a string? What is a string? Any sequence of any sequence of characters. Any sequence of characters such as it can be letters, numbers, or you can say symbols, or you can say it can be punctuations, punctuation marks, you can say, etc. String, what is a string? Any sequence of characters. Sequence of characters, such as it can be sequence of a letter, a number, symbols, punctuation marks. Okay. What is Boolean? Boolean. What do you mean by Boolean? Any data type that has a value of true or false. If you are specifying something in true and false, then that type of that is a data type, Boolean data type. That is a Boolean data type. Now you have to use type function. This is a type function. Okay, to check, this is a type function. You have to use type function to determine the data type, or you can say to check the data type. You have to use the type function. Okay, suppose if I give you some examples in Python. Let me start idle. But this laptop is having low memory, that is the reason it takes some time. Okay, I've started the Python. Now to verify the things, what you can do to verify the data types. Okay, how to verify the data types? What you can do? You can select. You can give a number. Suppose I am multiplying 3 into 4. Okay, it is 12. Now to check, I have to give type and I have to say what is 4. What is 4? See, it is giving me, it is a integer. Class is integer. Okay, class is what? Integer. Now suppose if I give type 3.75, it is a float. It is a float. Now if I give type function and I give Qayyum in double bracket, sorry, double quotes. okay, in double quotes. So it will come to know whenever I will write something in double quotes, it will come to know that it is a string. It is a string. Understood? It is a string. Now one more boolean is remaining. So if I want to check the boolean, if I give over here to type true, okay, it's capital T, type true. Okay, so see the color changes, how the color is changing. Over here, I have written something. Okay, it did not change, and over here, true. So if I give true, it is a Boolean type. It is a Boolean type. Okay. Now we have something known as Boolean operators. Okay, we have Boolean operators also. Boolean operators. What all are the Boolean operators? The Boolean operators, if I give you the operators, I will say insert table. Okay, operators and their meaning. Operators and their meaning. So the very first operator is greater than. This is greater than. This is less than. Less than. This is used as equal to. Equal to. See, we don't give single equal, we give double equal to quotes, double equal to marks. Okay, if I want to do any equal to, suppose I want to give that if my value is equal to, I cannot give single equal to. Single equal to is used to assign the value to something. To assign the value to something. Okay, then I can say if I want to give not equal to, then exclamation and equal to sign. This is not equal to. This is not equal to. Okay, then greater than equal to. Greater than equal to. Less than equal to. Less than equal to. Okay, so these are some operators that you can verify. Okay, so to verify these things, what we can do, we can have 1 is less than 2. If I give this, it will give me the Boolean output true. True. The Boolean output is true. If I give 1 is greater than 2, false. It is giving me the Boolean output false. Okay. If I give 1 is equal to 1, true. If I give suppose 1 is not equal to 1, it will give me false. Okay, 1 is greater than equal to 1, true. 1 is less than equal to 1, true. Okay, understood? Now we can do mathematical operations also with the string. Operation with string. Uh, suppose I give you a string, my name Qayyum. and I say multiplied by 4 times. So it is giving me the output as Qayyum, that is written 4 times. Okay, that is written 4 times. Okay, now we can assign strings to variables. Strings to variables. Suppose I create a variable first name. Okay, and I can assign it as my name. I can assign it as my name. So suppose I want to assign a value. This is a variable. I have created a variable. Now I will assign a name to it, the variable Qayyum. Okay. Then I want a space between my name. Okay, I want a space between my name. So what I will do, I will create one more variable, that is space. I will leave it blank and I will say last name equals to Sayyad. Last name equals to Sayyad. Okay. So this is known as concatenation. What it is known as? Concatenation. Okay. So now I want to print this. So print what? I have to give the variable name first name plus space plus last name. Okay. I've said print first name plus space plus last name. Okay, I have to create a program for it. Okay, so first name equals to Qayyum, space equals to last name equals to Sayyad. Then I will say print first name plus space plus last name. Okay, print first name plus last name. Okay, then I will say I'll save this file, desktop. See, I got a name Qayyum Sayyad with a space in between. With a space in between. Okay, understood? Now we can check the things over here. We can check, like I will check. Suppose I give the command first name equal to Qayyum. Okay, last name equals to Sayyad. Okay, then I can check this output. How I can check with the Boolean operator? What I can do, I can say first name equal to Qayyum. I am saying that I am checking whether first name is equal to Qayyum. It will give me true. Last name equal to Sayyad. It will give me true. If I give last name equal to Qayyum, false. Okay, so in this way you can check the strings. Okay, now the next is we will create and use the variables. We'll create and use the variables. Now what you can do, you can see the boolean operator is used to determine whether uh, you can say whether two values are equal is in the double with the double equal to sign. Okay, now if you give a single equal to sign is used to assign a value to a variable. Okay, to assign a value to a variable, suppose I give x equal to 3. If I give this value, then this is used to assign a value to the variable. Okay, now the variable can then be used, you can say, in other commands to recall the assigned value. Okay, so suppose if I give you an example, I have given the variable x as 3. Okay, then I can say x into 5. If I give x into 5, it will give me the output as 15. Means 3 into 5 is 15. 3 into 5 is 15. Okay, I can do it with string also. 6 Cisco double quotes Cisco into 4. It is giving me Cisco 4 times. It is giving me Cisco 4 times. Okay, understood? Now we will see how to convert one data type to another data type. One data type to another data type. Now uh, we have used why we need one data type to another data type. Now concatenation does not work for joining different data types. Okay, whatever we have seen over here, concatenation, this does not work for different data types. Okay, how you can verify this? So to verify, okay, we will see uh, the how to use the convert one data type into another. So suppose if I give you an example, x equal to 3, x equal to 3. Okay, now I will say print the value of x is the value of x is, if I give over here plus x, okay, it will give me an error. See, it is giving me an error, trace back most recent shell. Type error can only concatenate string, not integers. It cannot concatenate string. Sorry, it can concatenate strings only. It cannot concatenate integers. So how we can do? So we will use string function to convert the value of variable to a string. Now how we will do this thing? So suppose x equal to 3, or let it be or we'll verify x equal to 3. Then we will say print the value of x is the value of x is, I will say, plus, and over here I will say str x. I have created a variable, string variable x. Okay, for that I want the value. For that I want the value. See, the value of x is 3. The value of x is 3. Understood? I can check over here my type. If I type x is an integer, but I have called the value of x with the help of string function. Okay, with the help of string function. Now,
Sorry, I didn't get that part.
okay. So see, previously that what we have done, we have assigned a variable x variable. We have assigned a value to x as equal to 3. X is equal to 3. Then what we tried to print this value. Okay, as we have done over here. See, first name plus space plus last name. Okay, so we tried in the same way to print the value of x. So the value of x is, we are trying to concatenate x. X is an integer. So what it gave me the output, can only concatenate. Concatenate means add, you can say. Add strings, or you can say add something. Okay. So it is can only concatenate string, not integer. Not integer to string. You cannot concatenate integer with a string. This is a string. I have given it in double quotes and I want to concatenate it with a integer. So it will not give me the output. So what I have done, I have taken the value of x is equal to, what I've done, I have created a string. String is my x. Whatever value is there in x is my string. I have told the interpreter. Then it gave me the output. Then it gave me the output. Understood?
Okay.
Now you can notice over here that still my class over here of x, the type it is showing as integer only. Okay. So to convert the data type, you have to reassign the variable to a new data type. To a new data type. Now how I can do this? I have to say x equal to str x. Okay. I have created a new data type x and I've assigned the string x to the variable x. Okay, enter. Now if I type and if I see the value of x, see it is showing me string. It is a string. It is not a variable. It is not a integer. Okay. Now at some time you may want to display a float to a specific number. You can say of a decimal place instead of full number. So suppose if you want to give a floating point function. Okay, so if I give num equals to 22 divided by 7. Okay, if I give num 22 divided by 7, so I will say print this variable num, print this variable num. So it will give me an output as 3.142857 and so on. Okay, so I want that it should use only two you can say two numbers after the floating points. After the point, it should use only two numbers. So how I can do that? I can say print double quotes, open brace bracket, and I can say 2f close curly brackets. Okay, then dot format num. Okay, what I am saying, print two numbers, okay, after, and the format is for num. Format is for num. Okay, then if I hit enter over here, mm, it should give me two numbers. Here I have to give dot. Okay, so print, I will say colon dot 2f close curly bracket format num. See, it gave me two numbers. It gave me two numbers after the. So if we want three, then we can give three as my this value, colon dot 3f dot format for num. So this is something, some commands, basic commands I am giving you. Okay, some basic commands or outputs that you can use in your program. You can use to write a complete program. Okay, so these are basic things that you can use in your programs. Now we will move to the next topic, that is uh, list and dictionaries. List and dictionaries. Okay, so
Um,
yes,
sorry, Khaled,
yes.
you use um parentheses and brackets. When do you use parentheses? When do you use brackets?
Yeah, that's what we will be learning about this. Parenthesis means you will use, when you will get a print function, you will use a parenthesis. Okay, open and close parenthesis. Okay, but whenever you are specifying any function, or you can say you have specifying any you want to print any value, and you are specifying it in a function. Okay, so you have to give it in this format.
But when I wanted to print, you did the
Come again.
example, um, first name plus space. You did the example, first name plus space plus last name.
Yes, so
When I
it
used
was
the
a variable.
parentheses, it did not go. It was giving
Yes, it
error
was
until
a
I used
variable.
brackets.
It was a
Okay.
variable. Okay, we have created a variable and we have
Okay.
assigned the name to the variable. See, here is the example. I have created a variable first name and I've assigned a value to the variable. Okay, same over here I have done. X is equal to 3. Okay, and what I told the value, this is my own, you can say this is my own written example. Okay, I am writing, I can write anything. Okay, in print function I can write anything, but what you need to print need to be concatenated with the string, with the string value. Okay, over here what I've done, I've used this function. This is something a default thing. Okay, this is not made by me. This is something a default thing that you have to use. Okay, you are saying that the function it should use after dot, it should give me the output as two floating point values, two floating point values. So this is something a by default thing. I have not made this. Okay, so you have to specify this inside a print function. Okay.
Okay.
See what you can do. Uh, if suppose I'm using and integer, I want and value. Suppose I give an integer value as floating point 3.141. Okay, it will round me off to 3. It will round me off to 3. Suppose I give the value as 3.9. Again, it will round me off to 3 because I am giving a data type as integer. So it will not see what is there after the point. What is there after the point. So what I want that it should give me the nearest round of value. The nearest round of value. So what I can do, I can say integer, I can say 3.9 and I can say plus zero point 0.5 plus zero point 0.5. See, it gave me the integer as 4. So this is something a by default thing. If you want to give the nearest thing, then you can give zero point 0.5. You can add zero point 0.5 to it. It will take you to the nearest integer value. It will take you to the nearest integer value. Okay, now if I want a floating point value for an integer, suppose I want a floating point for 4, so it will give me a floating point value for 4.0 by default. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
now we will see the next thing that we will see. Will explore list and dictionaries. Dictionaries. So why list and dictionaries are used? You can say in programming a list is used uh, to store multiple pieces of ordered information. Multiple piece of ordered information. Okay. So if I give you the example, what we will do, first we will see how to create a list. Okay, we will see how to create a list. List. Okay. So the first step is over here, create a list using box bracket, box open and close bracket. Okay, box open and close bracket, and enclosing each item, each item in the list, enclosing each item in the list with quotes. Okay, if I want to create a list, I have to use square brackets. I have to use square brackets. Okay, so and inside the square bracket, if I'm suppose I am giving the list of anything. Okay, suppose I'm giving a list of devices that are there in my uh, inventory. You can say in my inventory I am having some list of devices. So if I'm giving the list of devices, I have to place each device name with double quotes, and separate the items with a comma. Separate the items with a comma. Now we'll use the third step we will do. We'll use the type function command to verify the data type. To verify the data type, use uh, we'll use the length command also. Length function, you can say command, sorry, length command, it will return the number of items in a list. Okay, in a list. Then we will say, we will call the list, variable name to display the list contents. Okay, so suppose if I create anything, if I give you an example, suppose if I create a host name, okay, host name equal to my device's host name. Okay, so the host name is R1. So as I told you, I have to give it in double quotes. Okay, then I can say separated by comma R2. Then I will say R3. Then I will say R4. Okay, or I can say switch 1, okay, comma switch 2. Okay, so this is my list I have created. A variable I have created host name, and I have given it a list of values. List, this represent a list. This bracket, square bracket, represents a list. Okay, so now I will check it in my Python. So what I will do, I will say host name square brackets R1 comma R2 comma R3 comma switch 1 comma switch 2. Okay, I've created I have created a list of host name that are there in my example. Host name is not defined. Why it gave me this output? R1 R2 R3.
I think there should be an equal to, sir.
Yes. Sorry, I have not added equal to over here. Okay. S1, S2. Okay. I have not added the equal to sign over there. Then I can see the step 3, I can use host names. If I give what is the type of function this host name is? It is giving me, it is a class data type. It is a class is a list data type. Okay, then I can say what is the length of host name? What is the length of host names? If I hit enter, you can see I am having 5 variables in it: R1, R2, R3, S1, S2. Okay, then I can say host name. See, once I give host names, the it will list down the all the things that are listed in my list. It will give me the list output. If I give the name as host name, whatever the variable I've created for list, if I give that name, it will give me the list of the components that are there in this. Okay, now in some programming environments you can say an item list is also called as an array. So any item within a list can be referenced and you can say manipulated using its index. So how we will manipulate the this thing? So suppose if I want to see host names, what is there on 0? So it will give me the output as host names at the number 0 there is R1. Suppose I want to see the very last entry in my list. So what I will do, I will give -1. If I want to check the last entry of my list, I will say -1. It will give me S2. Okay, S2. Now if I want to change the this thing host name of suppose R1, then I will say host names and I'll say 0. I want to change the host name, whatever is there on place 0, and I want to keep it as RTR hyphen 1. I want to keep it as RTR hyphen 1. Enter. If I now give host names, see, it got changed with R1 to RTR hyphen 1. Okay. Now, if I want to delete specific entry, suppose I want to delete the third entry, that is S1. Okay. Because it is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I have to give delete from where? From host names, and I have to specify the number third. Okay. If I give host names, there will be no S1 in the list. There will be no S1 in the list. Understood? Hello. So now suppose if I want to add something, suppose I want to add S3 in it. S3. So what I will do, I will write host names dot append host names dot append, and I will say S3 host names. See, S3 got it added in the at the last. S3 got added in the last. Understood? So this is a list function, you can say a list data type. Okay. Now the next thing that we have is a dictionary. Is a dictionary. Dictionary. Now, what is a dictionary? What is a dictionary? Dictionaries are unordered lists of object. Now, it is an unordered list of objects. Each object contains a key value pair. Each object contains a key value pair. Now, in our example, we will see a dictionary of IP address. Okay, a dictionary for IP address is created with, you can say, IP address values of 3 routers. Okay, so we will see the steps. So first we will create a dictionary using dictionary is you is whenever we want to use a dictionary, we will use curly brackets, curly braces, you can say. Okay, curly braces. Then each dictionary entry includes a key and a value pair. A key and a value pair. Now separate a key and the value pair with a colon. Separate a key and a value pair with a colon. Use quotes for keys and values that are string. Okay, for keys you have to use quotes and values that are string. For values that are string. So what I will do, I will create and I will create an dictionary. I'll say IP address equal to, I will say for R1 the IP address is 10.10.10. Or I can give 10.1.1.1. Okay, so I will give this in double quotes. Got it? Then separate by comma, and for R2 the IP address will be 10.2.2.2.1, comma, and I can say for R3 the value of our IP address will be 10.3.3.1. Okay, enter. I'll say type. I'll see the type of this IP address. It is a dictionary, you can see it is a dictionary type. Okay, it is a dictionary type. Now I can see that this dictionary with the same command. If I give the name of the dictionary, I will get the dictionary, okay, that is listed down. Now if I want to check the specific, I will check in this way. I will give IP address and I will say I want to check the IP address of R1. I have to check the IP address of R1. So it will give me the output as 10.1.1.1. Okay, understood. Now I can change the values also. How I can change the values? The same way, IP address, and I can say for R3, for R3 equals to 10.3.3.3. Okay, for R3 I have changed the value as 10.3.3.3. IP address. See, it got changed to 10.3.3.3. Okay, now I can see the value. How I can see the value? To see the value, what I can do, I can give a command. Suppose I want to see the value of R2 IP address, or I want that whether R2 is present in my dictionary, whether there is anything R2. So I have to give R2 in IP address. So it is giving me a boolean output as true. There is R2 in suppose if I give S1 in IP address, it will give me false. It will give me false. Understood? Getting me or not? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so suppose if my R3 is having multiple IP addresses. So how you will configure multiple IP addresses? Okay, for R3. Okay, so you will say IP address for R3, and you will make a list of it. You'll make a list of it. You will say 10.3.3.1, comma 10.3.3.2, comma 10.3.3.4. Okay, I can verify IP address. See, I got multiple values for R3. I got multiple values for R3. Okay, what I have done, I have appended a list into a dictionary. Okay, I have appended a list into a dictionary. Got it? Any doubt till here? Now, suppose if we want that user should enter names of user of we want, suppose here we are giving the values. Okay, so we don't want to give the values. Okay, we want that user should enter the values. Okay, user should enter the values. Okay, so I will write a program. I will say first name is equal to input I will give this function input, and I will say in parenthesis, I will say what is your first name? What is your first name? Question mark and close parenthesis. Okay. I want that it should give me the value. It should give me the value. What is your first name? So if I hit enter over here, and if I save this file, run. What is your first name? Okay. So I'll say Qayyum. Enter. What is your first name? I have said the first name. Now I want to print this first name. So I want that after that it should give me a print function. It should give me a print function. So I will say print hello concatenated with first name. Concatenated with first name. Okay. And concatenated with an exclamation, you can say exclamation. Okay, we will save this file and we will run it again. What is your first name? Qayyum.
Small p, sir.
Okay, hello Qayyum. Got it? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is something an input function when we want a user to give us the input. Okay, so we can use this input function. We can use this input function. Okay, now we will move to loops. 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 Now, what are loops? In programming, conditional statements check if something is true and then carry out instructions carry out instructions based on the evaluation now if the evaluation is false, okay, if the evaluation is false, different instructions may be carried out. Okay, now in this chapter, in this part, we will study conditional statements that include if else, if, elif else, okay, for loops, while loops, these all things. Okay, so to create if else, so first we will see the if function. If function, what is if function? If loop, if function. So if function is used when we have some two common values, or and we have if else function. When we use if else function, if we have some values to be matched, okay, so we can say, suppose if I have three VLANs, native VLAN, voice VLAN, and data VLAN. Okay, so the best practice is to keep the native VLAN and the data VLAN equal. Okay, the best practice is to keep the native VLAN and data VLAN equal. So we can see by this scenario, okay, by this creating this VLANs. Okay, so I will create a program. I will create a program. I'll say new, and I'll say my native VLAN equals to, I will give the input values. I will use the input function. I will say, what is your native VLAN? What is your native VLAN? I will give question mark. Then I will say data VLAN. Data VLAN equals to input, and I'll say what is your data VLAN. Okay, then my third VLAN is voice VLAN. Voice VLAN equal to input. I'm writing a program over here. What is your voice VLAN? Okay, after writing this, I will say if native VLAN equals to data VLAN. If native VLAN equals to data VLAN, then print what? Looks good. Looks good.
Sir, the double quotes.
Okay. If native VLAN is equal to data VLAN, then print looks good. Else. Okay. Sorry, not over here. I have to give it end of the function, the colon. Okay. Then I have to say else print. You can say, you can give any print, the native VLAN and data VLAN are different, you can say. Okay, are different. Got it? So I want to run this program. I will save this program. Okay, then I'll run this program. Print looks good. Save. F5. What is your native VLAN ID? Suppose I give the native VLAN ID as 100. What is your data VLAN ID? 100. What is your voice VLAN? 101.
Again, the prints
Okay.
and native spelling is wrong. I mean, the first
Where?
line. First line, sir. Native VE, sir. Yeah, that's also.
100, 100, 101. Looks good. Okay. So this is a small program for else if. Else if. Okay. Else if. This is a small program for else if. We can do multiple things over here. Got it? Understood? Now the next we have elif function. Elif function. Elif function. Okay. So what is the use of elif function? Okay. So I can change over here. Suppose I can say, suppose I want the DSCP value. Okay, what is your voice DSCP value? Voice DSCP value. Okay, what is your voice DSCP value? So what I do, I will remove this two commands from here. I want DSCP value. What is your voice DSCP value? So if DSCP DSCP equal to, I will say 46. If DSCP equal to 46, print looks good, or you can say print this is a voice media packet. This is a voice media packet. Okay. Now, if I can give one more, I can give a function elif if it is DSCP equal to 46, or it can be another value DSCP equal to 24, you can say. Okay, elif if it is 24, then print this is a voice signaling packet. Okay, so I have two values for DSCP. If it is 46, then you should print that this is a voice media packet. If it is 24, then you have to print this is a voice signaling packet. Else if it is not from both these values, then you have to say This is not a voice packet. This is not a voice packet. Okay, so I have saved this. I will run this. Elif. Okay, so what is your value of DSCP? So my value is 46. So this is a voice media packet. If I run it again, if I give it 24, it is a voice signaling packet. If I run it again, and if I give any other value, this is not a voice packet. Okay, so in this way you can use elif statement. Elif. Okay, if elif, then else. If we have multiple values for a single variable, then you can use this if else statement. Understood? Any doubt? You can use it for ACLs also. Okay, so if I create a new file, or what I can do, I can add this file only. I can use this file only. Suppose I will use ACL number. ACL number is equal to integer, and I'll say input function inside the integer. Okay, I've created an variable integer. Okay, inside the integer I'm saying input. What input you have to give? What is the IPv4 ACL number? What is the IPv4 ACL number? Okay, I'll give a question mark over here, and I'll close the this thing. Okay, now I will say if ACL num is greater than, I can use the different boolean examples, is greater than or equal to, I can say 1. If it is greater than or equal to 1, I can use the AND operator also over here. And it is less than or equal to 99. Okay, then what? Print. Suppose I want to print, this is a standard IPv4 ACL. This is a standard IPv4 ACL. Okay. Now, elif, if I say ACL num is greater than or equal to 100 and less than equal to 199, then print what? This is a extended IPv4 ACL. Okay, this is extended IPv4 ACL. Got it? Or I can say else. If these both are not true, then print I can say print this is not a standard or extended IPv4 ACL. Okay, this is not a standard IPv4 ACL. Got it? Save. I've saved this file. Now I will run. ACL num okay 5. So what is the number of ACL? Suppose I gave 50. This is a standard IPv4 ACL. Suppose I give a number as 161. This is an extended APL. Suppose I give a number 200. This is not a standard or extended IPv4 ACL. Understood? Understood elif statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we move to our for loop. For loop. Now why for loop is used? You can say the Python for command is used uh, to loop, or you can say iterate, to loop or iterate through the elements in a list, through elements in a list. Okay, so suppose I am having a list, okay, of devices. So I will go and I will say I have created a list of devices. So to create a list, I have to say in square bracket, I have say R1, comma R2, comma R3, comma R4, comma R5. Okay. Again, I have not given equal to R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll say for item, for item, okay, in devices, for item in devices, for item in devices. What is the name? Devices only, right? Devices. Okay. For item
Colon.
in devices, colon, print item. Print item. If I hit enter here, see, I got the list of items. Okay, I got the list of items. R1, R2, R3. It got printed. Okay, understood. Now you can make a program for this also. Okay, you can make a program for this also. So I will create a program. I'll say devices equal to R1, comma R2, comma R3, comma R4, comma, or you can say I can give over here switch 1 and switch 2. Okay, so I've created a devices list. Then I will say for item in devices, print item. Okay, or I can say I have already seen this. For item in devices, suppose I want to print the item starting with R. Okay, so I will say if R in item, if R in item, then you can say print item. If there is any R in item, then print item. I'll save this and I'll run. See, R1, R2, R3. Okay, R1, R2, R3. Similarly, you can give it for S also. S, save, run. See, S1 and S2. S1 and S2. Now, if you want to, suppose if you want to append, or if you want to create, uh, you can say, you can also use a combination of for loop. Okay, a combination of for loop, uh, and you can say if statement to create a new list. Okay, so we'll create an empty list variable for switches. For switches, we'll create an empty list variables. Okay, then we will iterate through devices to find and you can say add any device that begin with S to switches list. Okay, so what we will do, will sorry, we'll say switches equal to blank. Then I will say for item in devices, if if it starts with S, if it starts with is in item, when you have to say then you have to append it in the switches. Append it in the switches. Switches dot append item. Okay, switches dot append item. I have saved this. If I go over here and if I check switches, sorry, I have to run this command, save, run. See, S1 and S2 are listed in switches, okay. So this is my for loop, understood. Then I have while loop. Now what is while loop? Now instead of running block of code, you can say as in an if else statement, you can use a while loop. Now what is a while loop? A while loop keeps executing a you can say executing a code block as long as boolean expression remains true. Okay, so this can cause a program to run endlessly if you do not make sure your script includes a condition for while loop to stop. Why now? How we can run while loop? So to run a simple program in while loop, suppose I give x equal to input, I will say enter the number to which you wish to count. Okay, so I have given an input function. Now my x is equal to, it will be an integer, x will be an integer, it will be not a string. Now I will give a value of y equal to 1. Okay, and I will set a while condition. While y is less than or equal to x, while y is less than or equal to x, I will say y equals to y plus 1. Okay, if y is less than equal to x, then y equal to y plus 1. Okay, so suppose I want to print a number from 1 to 10. Suppose I want to print a number from 1 to 10. Then I will say save this file and run. So I want a number from 1 to 10. Okay, the value of y is 1. Okay, I want the y to go till 10. Okay, so if I hit enter over here, okay, I have not given the print command over here. Print y. Okay, save 10. See, it gave me the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I specified that I will enter a value of x. Okay, and I have specified that the value of y is 1, and I've specified if y is less than equal to x, then print y. Okay, if I specify, suppose I want to print a number from 1 to 100, so I will say 100. Got it? Understood? So this is how you can use uh, while loop. Okay, now I will say, instead of using this while y is greater than equal to x, I can use boolean function. I can use boolean function. If sorry, true while true, okay, then I will add one more statement over here. If y is greater than x, if y is greater than x, then break. If y is greater than x, then break. 10. Understood? Understood? Now, what else we can do? We can have multiple programs for while loop also. Okay, so you can get all the programs, or you can say you can get sample programs. Okay, I will give you the sample programs also to practice, for practice. Okay, so now uh, suppose I want to access uh, an file. Okay, I want to access a file. Okay, so I will create a program to access a file. So I will create a list of program, or you can say a list of I'll say Cisco 819 or 819 router, Cisco 881 router, Cisco 888 router, Cisco 1100 router, Cisco 4321 router. Okay, so this is my list of you can say devices. So what I will do, I will save this devices, okay, dot txt, devices dot txt. Okay, then I will come over here and I will write a command. I'll write a program over here. I'll say file open file, sorry, file equals to open function, open what? Open devices.txt, devices.txt will be in quotes, and I can specify over here, I can specify that what type of function I have to do with this, whether I want read, write or append. So I will first see the read function. Okay, so comma, I'll say in double quotes R. Okay, for loop for item in file, I'll say print item, print item. Then I will close the file, file dot close function, file dot close function. Okay, save. Then I'll run this. Save as. Okay, I've stored over here. I have to store where my program is there. Okay, where my program is running, the Python program, I have to store the devices.txt file over there. Okay, so I will say save, run. See, I got the list of all the routers that are stored in this list. Okay, so I have accessed my list. I have accessed my list. Okay, now you can see I'm getting a white space over here in between. Okay, which is taking much space. So what I can do, I can remove this white space. So how I can remove this white space? I can say after this for function, I can say over here item equal to item dot strip, strip function, item dot strip function. Okay, item dot strip function. Save, run. See, now the white space have been removed. See, either I can give over here, or what I can do, I can give over here also. Print item dot strip, print item dot strip function. Okay, if I give over here also, it will be working fine. Save. See, the output is same. Print item dot strip function. So item dot strip function will remove the white space. Will remove the white space. Understood? Now suppose if I want to copy a file into a list variable. Okay. So I will create an empty list. devices equal to, have to add something in this file. File equal to open devices dot txt, comma r for item in file. I'll say devices dot append item dot strip function. File close, file dot close, print devices. Devices dot append item. See, it came into a list. When you want to make a list of this, it came into a list. Okay, it came into a list. I created a blank list. Okay, and I've said devices and append the items in this. Understood? So you can do multiple things with this file access operation. Okay, you can do multiple things. Understood? Now I will make a program. Suppose you want, I want to write inside a file. Okay, I want to write inside a file. So what I will say file dot open, and I'll say the file name devices dot txt. Then I will say comma, and I will say a append. Okay. Then I will say while true. I'll create a while loop, and I'll say sorry while true, and I'll say new item, new item. I will use input function to add a new item. Okay, input function. I will say enter new item, enter new item. Got it? Then I'll come over here. Now if new item is equal to exit, if I give exit in the new item command, okay, if new item equal to exit, then print, then print all done, then print all done. Okay, then break. Now file dot write function, I have to use the write function for new item. Okay, and if I want that the new item should be listed one below the other, should be listed one below the other. Okay, once I enter new item, it's the next thing that will come. I have to say over here, sorry, this is not the command, new item, and I will say n. Then the last command, that is my, this will also come here, file dot close command. If everything is done, use the file dot close command. Now see, I will get an option to add these things in this devices. So I will run the program. File dot open, sorry, file equal to open, not dot. File equal to open. See, enter new item. Okay, suppose I want to add anything. Cisco 1900. Okay, Cisco 1900. Then it is asking me for another item. Suppose I will say Cisco 1941 router. Okay, it is asking me for another item unless I type exit over here. Once I type exit, it will come out of the file. All done. Okay, now see, if I go in my devices, these two will be added. Encore. There is
Sir,
any
there should be
mistake.
indentation, sir.
Sorry.
It should be inside the while, sir. The right command. File dot right should be one tab to the right. Sir.
Break. Print
It
all
is
done.
outside the while loop, sir. So it should be inside the while loop.
This command you are saying.
File dot right should be inside else.
Okay, I have to use else loop you are saying.
Yes, sir.
And inside this else I have to add this
Uh,
thing. This you are saying?
yes, sir. Uh,
Let me check. Cisco 1900. Cisco 1941. Exit. Still did not got added.
you must close it and open it again.
But the exit is also coming over here.
That is because of the previous command, sir. Previous executions. This execution is the last two lines.
Okay. Okay, so understood this thing? How I can use the else if commands and all the loops, all these things? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll stop over here. Okay, tomorrow we will have the last lecture. Okay.